New York Knicks fans are used to being disrespected, especially by the major news outlets like ESPN, Bleacher Report, and CBS Sports. The list goes on. But you think when the Knicks have a winning record like they have right now, that the disrespect would either lessen or it would stop completely. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case because recently, inside the NBA Analyst, Kenny Smith gave some recent critical and harsh comments about the Knicks and why he feels they'll never reach greatness. We're going to break down his harsh comments and see exactly what he said. All of this and so much more today. So be sure you're subscribed to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. TNT NBA analyst Kenny Smith disrespects the New York Knicks. Now listen, I understand the Knicks are not one of the top tier teams in the Eastern Conference or the NBA. They are definitely right to criticism, and you can give them criticism without question, even sometimes disrespect. They've earned that sometimes as well too. I can understand it. But the level of disrespect that Kenny Smith showed the Knicks last night on the telecast for the Knicks versus Bucks game was off the charts. I get not liking a team. I get not understanding what a team has. But if you don't watch the game, if you don't understand the talent on the team, then don't make comments on the team. Because if you make comments, especially harsh, critical comments, everybody, including myself, is going to hold you to those statements. Let's see exactly what Kenny Smith said about the Knicks and what harsh statements he had to say about them. The Knicks are ready to get over the hump, but recently, former NBA player and current TNT analyst Kenny Smith spoke on the state of the Knicks and why they are not destined for greatness. Not destined for greatness. That's such a great thing to do as an NBA analyst when you have so many fans of the game watching and hearing what you got to say. And that is the take you have. Let's see exactly what he said. So this is exactly what Kenny Smith said about the Knicks and why he believes they will never reach greatness. This is why the Knicks are going to stay in the middle. Every game that they play, they always have the second best player. You play Boston, you've got the second or third best player. You play Orlando with Paolo Banchero. They don't have a player that's better than Banchero. Milwaukee, we know they don't. Philadelphia, they don't. The Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton is the best player on the floor. You don't have the player on the floor any night. Such disrespectful comments by Kenny Smith here. Listen, I understand. The Knicks are not a top tier team. They're not Boston. They're not Milwaukee. To an extent, they're not even Philadelphia. I get that. They're a star away from being one of those top teams. We all understand that. But just because they're not a great team does not mean they cannot compete with any of those teams that are at the top. We've seen time and time again, the Knicks, because of how they play, how physical that they are, the type of defense that they play, they are always in each and every game, and they always have a shot to win those games. So I understand that they don't have the best player on the floor, but sometimes they don't need it in order to compete at a high level with these top tier teams. But let's go to the comments that he said. Those disrespectful comments. The Knicks don't have a better player than Paolo Banchero on the Magic? First of all, the Magic's best player right now is arguably Franz Wagner. So let's put that out there. Paolo Banchero is a very good player. But as of right now, as we're speaking today, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are better players than Paolo Banchero. It's absolutely clear-cut. You can't say anything about it, and you cannot argue those facts. Does he have a higher ceiling? Yes. Eventually, will Banchero be better than those two? Yes. Is he better than those two right now? No, absolutely not. He might have a few years left to go before he's even in the conversation of being better than these two players. But do not disrespect Jalen Brunson. Do not disrespect Julius Randle, and do not disrespect the New York Knicks like that. Kenny Smith saying that you play Orlando with Paolo Banchero and they still don't have a player that's better than Banchero is absolutely disrespectful to what Jalen Brunson and what Julius Randle have been doing in their Knicks career and what they've been doing this season. They have been playing out of their mind. Go check Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson's numbers the last 7 or 8 games. They are off the charts monstrous. They are looking better than ever, and they are looking like they can play off each other way better than they ever could last season. They both are improving individually, but they are also improving as a duo, and I think everybody can see that. Kenny Smith saying that is so wildly disrespectful. Even going to Cleveland, he mentioned Cleveland and he said Donovan Mitchell. I can make the argument that in the playoffs, you would rather have Jalen Brunson than Donovan Mitchell because Jalen Brunson has knocked out and eliminated Donovan Mitchell time and time and time again. So I think even that's disrespectful. And let's talk about it. Tyrese Haliburton, he mentioned, is the best player on the floor if you're playing Indiana. Let me make this argument. I get Tyrese Haliburton is playing out of his mind. No disrespect to him at all. He is passing the ball like nobody's business. He's great on that end. Defensively, he's taken a step, I feel, as well, too. And also, his scoring of the ball, his three-point shot, very, very good. No takeaways at all from his game or his contributions to Indiana and what they're doing. They're on fire right now. But let's not take away from what Jalen Brunson is doing. Is he the better defender than Tyrese Haliburton is? I don't think so. But does Tyrese take as many charges as Jalen Brunson does? He doesn't. And I think that's what makes Jalen Brunson just as good. Because even though he's not the greatest defender, he's going to use his body on the defensive end to make sure the Knicks get another possession. And he's leading the league in charges as a point guard. He puts his body on the line as a point guard. Not many point guards would do that right now, but he does that. So let's check the box there. In terms of three-point shooting, I would think Jalen Brunson is a better three-point shooter. Mid-range shot, I'm taking Jalen Brunson over Tyrese Haliburton. Jalen Brunson is an underrated passer. He sometimes could average 7 or 8 assists if a lot of players on the Knicks would hit shots. So let's understand that as well too. Jalen Brunson may not be getting 10 or 11 assists. He may not be averaging that on the season. But I think on the season he's averaging 5 assists. He might be able to average 7 or 8 assists if the people he passed it to on the Knicks would hit a shot. So sometimes we have to factor that in as well too. If you want more passing, you'll likely go with Tyrese. If you want more efficient scoring, you'll likely go with Jalen Brunson. It all depends on the type of point guard that you want. But I will say this, Tyrese and Jalen, they're on the same tier. It may not look like it, but in my opinion, they're on the same tier. And at any rate, one of them can overtake the other depending on the games that they're going to have. So right now, it may look like it's Tyrese. Maybe toward the end of the year, it looks like Jalen Brunson. Do not write Jalen Brunson off just that quick. The disrespect that Kenny's giving right here to Jalen Brunson is just phenomenal. And to Julius Randle as well too. 2-time All-NBA, 2-time All-Star, still getting disrespected. It just doesn't matter sometimes what the Knicks can do. It just doesn't matter the type of record the Knicks have. Sometimes some analysts on any network, whether it be TNT, CBS, Bleacher Report, or ESPN themselves, it doesn't matter. Sometimes the Knicks are just going to catch disrespect and they're just going to have to deal with it. And right now, we're going to have to deal with this disrespect from Kenny Smith. But you know what? We're going to get the last laugh, in my opinion, because the Knicks, especially Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, are going to show out moving forward, and we're going to show why the New York Knicks have to be a team you take seriously moving forward. Because if you don't, the Knicks are going to get you, they're going to add to their winning record, and they're going to show you why the Knicks are one of the best teams in the East and why you have to take them seriously. I just hope the Knicks make the adjustments that they need to make to their starting unit sooner rather than later so they can absolutely take that claim of one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. If they continue to ride out Grimes and not address what happens in the starting unit when he's out there, then I think the Knicks are going to continue to falter and not get where they need to be this season. If the Knicks make the right adjustment to their starting unit and they make the right trade that they need to upgrade talent to their roster, the Knicks can absolutely take claim to one of the top teams in the East. Only time will tell to see what Leon Rose and the Knicks do, but I hope they do something fast because as of right now, given everything that we're looking at and everything that we're seeing, the Knicks need to make a move. Until then, it looks like the disrespect is going to continue. But what about you guys? What do you think about these disrespectful comments made about Kenny Smith? And what do you think about what the Knicks need to do moving forward? Do they need to make a move immediately? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.